Yeah, hi. How are you, Roy?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good, bye. All well.
And I can see you wearing the Craig t-shirt, which is fantastic. Let me introduce you to Tarun. Tarun would be a co-moderator in this session with me. So it won't be a question answer kind of a thing. It's more of a like informal adda kind of a thing. So we are just going to ask you some basic questions, and you are free to like answer whatever you want. Okay?
Sure.
So, first of all, let me introduce you to everybody. So, we call this segment as the Coffees and Stories segment, and you are our first guest for this one. And here we discuss about uh, like industry leaders. I mean, from different leaders who are successful in their own fields, and we discuss with them various intricacies of that particular field they are in a very informal ways, and so that our audience who are mostly students, they can also understand how to excel in that particular field, and also in a very approachable manner. The first thing, as we all know, that you are a successful cricketer, and that's something which excites all of us. Okay, and so my first question to you is, how did your journey as a cricketer start in the first place?
Yeah, so when I was five, I started playing cricket. It was obviously, I didn't think that it's going to be my profession later on. But then, as my mother tells me that I was very naughty that time. So she had to channelize my energy, and that's when she had put me in a cricket academy close to my place in Roshnara Club, North Delhi. And that's how it started. And then I started. So I'm from modern school, and from sixth onwards, we have a good cricket team which play tournaments all across the country. So
Right.
I started playing those tournaments when I was about, I think, 10 or 11. And then I played for my school. And then I remember that in 2014, I was, I think, 15 years old. And that's when I went for the national trials. They are called the school games, and you go, your school nominates you, and you go for the trials. And then I was lucky to get selected for the Delhi team, and that's when
Right.
this journey started. And
Right.
so yeah, I
Right.
never thought that it's gonna be my profession. It was more of my, you can say, passion, and out of like basically I started playing it for fun. But then
Right.
later on, I did it, and I it was just that I followed whatever came my way.
Right. And were there any initial hurdles or any kind of hurdles that you faced during this journey? Like to start off, like in the initial times, did you face any kind of issues, any kind of hurdles?
Yes, definitely, because cricket is like a religion in our country, as everybody knows. So, like everybody does face a lot of challenges in terms of selection, in terms of not getting the right opportunities and not getting the right kind of coaching that you are looking for, because there are about 100 children in an academy. So obviously the coaches also cannot focus on one or two people.
Right. Right.
So yes, there were a lot of hurdles in terms of getting the right opportunities, but then I think it was destiny, and as I got opportunities, I followed it, and God had been kind that I could represent the state.
And yeah, Tarun, just
uh, Whenever you come into this cricket legacy kind of a thing, how
Yeah,
much pressure that creates in an individual who's very new to the system. You were just 15 years old and 14 years old boy, and that
yeah.
a lot of pressure comes in. How to handle that kind of psychological pressure and live up to the legacy?
See, at that age, I think the pressure is more from the family side. I would say that the parents have a lot of expectations from you, seeing the IPL on TV, and seeing that like the players who are playing in the IPL get so much money and fame. So
Right.
the pressure is more from the parents rather than anyone else.
All right.
And when you once you start playing, then like this is what happened with me also. Like my classmates And my friends in my bus, they also used to ask me whenever I used to go for any matches that how did it go. So it's somewhere in the back of a mind, you have that thing that like yeah, people are watching you or they'll be asking you. So that kind of a pressure is always there. But I see at that age, I think everyone should enjoy because there is nothing that you can really do, because there are hardly any player who has played for the country except Sachin at that age.
Right.
And now, since there is so much competition, you have different age group games. First, you have to play under 14, then 17, 19, then 22. Then you have to play at the Ranji level. Ranji also, there are so many formats.
Right.
So, for, I think it's very important to play, enjoy, and just build relationships. What this is what I learned, that the friends I have from like under 15s or under 16s, they're still my friends. I'm still in touch with them. So it's very it's very enjoyable to understand, like to talk to them now about those days.
Right.
So everybody can't play for India. It's just that the lucky 15 or 20 people get to play for the country.
True.
But then it's a journey that everyone should enjoy if they get an opportunity.
Right. And just because you mentioned about performances and you sit with your friends and look back, any one innings or any one match which was your favorite, or you still remember that it kind of put you in light in front of everybody, or it was a kind of depressing moment because it didn't went well. Any one story for our viewers?
So one interesting one is that I scored 100 at my school when I was in the 11th standard, and there was a touring team from I think UK or Australia. So they came to our school to play a match, and that's when I scored 100. And everybody from my class, my friends, they watched that match. So that is one match I really remember. And the one moment that was very depressing was the semi-final we lost in our inter-college match. So I played for Hansraj College.
Okay.
I was the captain in the third year, and we lost to I think Zakir Hussain College in the semi-finals.
Right.
So that was a really depressing moment because we never thought we lose to Zakir Hussain having such a strong team. So it was something very unexpected.
And as a captain, how do you then boost the morale of your team? Because there's an extra responsibility on carrying yourself and the team as well. So what should one do in these circumstances?
I think it's very important to be calm, as we all have learned from Dhoni, that being very calm in that situation is very important for a captain. And then you have to find out the way to get out of it. Like how to get out of it, and who are the players who are getting very depressed or are in a negative situation. So you have to pick those and pick the ones who are very positive. So you have all kinds of players in a team. So that's when the role of a captain plays and comes up, I think. And you have to select those players and then you have to push them accordingly.
Right. Roy, please go ahead. I think you have a few questions.
Right. As you mentioned, Arjun, that like you always faced a little bit of pressure from friends. I remember calling you in the middle of the night after specifically after the IPL auctions and the KKR games. That when am I going to see my friend wearing the KKR jersey? So I remember that bit. So yeah, like we all understand, as you mentioned, that everybody doesn't play from India, but the the sport as a profession has evolved a lot ever since the IPL has came by. So, what is your opinion on or let's say what is your suggestion for a budding cricketer who thinks of taking up cricket as a profession now?
Yeah, so now you very rightly mentioned that because of the number of students that are playing cricket is tremendous, firstly. Then a few of my friends or colleagues, they have started getting into sports management. So now there are so many leagues happening across the globe. In IPL is there, then West Indies has their own Caribbean league, Sri Lankan league, Bangladesh league. So all these leagues, they involve a lot of people, a lot of manpower. They have a different too many, sorry, too many aspects of a league. That would be marketing, getting sponsorships, the media, broadcasting, managing of the players, managing of the league. So every step and every aspect involves a profession. Now, you need a professional person to handle all these things. So this is why I think a lot of sports management courses is also started in India. Obviously, abroad they were there previously as well. But in India also, people have really started looking sports as a career. So then you have these different fields. Then you can become a journalist. Now, since because of the social media, you can start your own channel also. Like you can have your YouTube channel. If you get good content, then probably Google only pushes you a lot. So these are the different aspects. I feel it's not only about playing, but sports as a career or a profession. So I think everyone should play till a certain age, till they feel they are doing well. And after that, they can always look up to different opportunities. One should not keep dragging. Like when I was, I think 28, 27, 28, I felt that I'm not getting the right opportunities or the opportunities I'm looking for, or probably the level I'm that looking to play for. Like, so I was playing for the Ranji team. I was there, but I wasn't getting a chance to play in the 11 because Rishabh Pant was playing there. So that's when I started looking for different opportunities, but because I had different plans. I wanted to do really something good in my life. I wanted to something achieve something in my life. And if I would have probably played another 2 3 years, then I'm not sure. Maybe I would have played another 10 15 matches for Delhi, but then I couldn't see myself playing for the country. So it's a very difficult call. It's not very easy to leave something you're doing for the past 20 years. But then I think you should be brave enough, and I'm very glad that I took that decision, and I'm pretty happy in what I'm doing right now.
Uh, Let me take you back a little bit, like little back, and ask you what was so if there's a child, if there's a 14 15 year old guy who wants to like at least play for the Ranji team now in these circumstances, what will you suggest him or her to do in terms of like the fitness regime, in terms of the discipline and everything else?